Hey guys, how's it going? It is Clary Berry, and I'm here today to bring to you the Divine Masculine reading. This is the Divine Masculine inside of yourself and or the Divine Masculine inside of your relationship. But if you're going to look at it for your person, then you got to look at it for yourself too. That's just the way that things are. Okay, that's just the way that it is. Healthy lifestyle. Eat a healthful diet, get adequate sleep, and exercise regularly for optimal health. I've been saying how important the exercise is lately, but avoiding substances that mess with our anger and emotions, and really any drugs and substances, get broken down and processed by the liver usually. And the liver is associated in Chinese medicine with anger. And so when we don't eat right, we only exacerbate problems that, sometimes are already there. And that can be the story for a lot of people. Again, just can be like making things worse, exacerbating it. So I always say, treat yourself, like a child. Success for success. It goes through, you got to get sleep. You got to have saturation, water. You got to have satiation, the right foods, sugars, starches, carbs, all right? And vegetables, of course. Fruits. Did I say fruit? Yeah. Frugivores. Anyway, we're having a revolution, actually, with health still. And we've been caged. We've really been caged in with this whole animal agriculture that we've been brainwashed into, that this whole planet has been forced into. It's helping to hurt the earth. And a lot of this, the animal, honestly, it all has to do with each other, because you can tell, because again, these diseases are directly coming from the animal agriculture. They're directly coming from killing animals. This is time our earth here is crying out and speaking out. It's not even our earth. It's just the energy of everything that is. It all is there, reverberating and affecting each other. We all affect each other. What you do matters. That's why we show up. We keep showing up here. We show up, we go up. You keep on trying to get better, you will get better, even if it doesn't feel like, like you're doing anything, like you're going anywhere. Okay, so let's jump into this. Overlaying a divine with divine masculine. Here we go now. Okay, so what's been going on with divine masculine? They're being pushed and pushed and pushed. They're growing, okay? It's not always beautiful. It's rough, it's raw, it's real, it's life. What can you do? But again, there really keeps coming through this underlying connection. It's like, even though we may be so angry and so hot-headed and so ready to just rah, 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 is how I can just explain it. It's like we still have underlying a connection. We still are connecting with the fact that we are good. We are getting better. We are expressing ourselves. And a lot of this is just figuring out what is good enough for your expression to speak. What message is good enough for your voice? It's about finding it. What story is good enough for you to tell? What work is good enough for you to do? Because you are amazing. You are the love and the light. And you're only reawakening to that fact every day. And we have the opportunity every second of every day to reawaken. And that is beauty, and that is love, and that is our heritage. That is our legacy. That is what we have to look forward to. If you look around, the universe always supports us. That's another good mantra. Write it down till it gets in your brain and you don't even have to have it written down anymore. Treat yourself like you want your partner to treat you. Is that the golden rule in reverse? That's shadow work. Write it down, quote it for me right here. Shadow work is reverse. Yeah. So anyway, I keep saying it. Oh, that's funny. Sometimes you just gotta do it live. Okay, but we're feeling our connection underlying all of the noise, all of the nonsense, all of the confusion, okay, all of the overwhelm, okay, we're still able, I think it might be this, all of this earth energy, we're still somehow hanging on, somehow, because we're grounded. And I literally today, you guys, I went to my favorite hill. I have a beautiful hill. I have a lot of beautiful hills right by my house, and I just love walking them, and I go up and down and up and down. And, not only, again, is it good and healthy for my legs, but I get signs there. I ask my angels for signs, and I always find the most beautiful feathers right on this hill. And once it started, it's like, I realized this is a sacred spot for me. And today I went to this hill and I started actually doing hills as part of my healthy lifestyle. I've started to incorporate this. It's just so easy for me because I can walk it and I can get up a pace and jog it if I want to. And I can come, back and take a walk and slow down and, do it with my dog or go do it alone and pick up trash. And there's so many good things you can do. And there's so many good things that you receive and that you get. But a lot of it is just this mental and working through and this emotional trip, this journey that we're on. It's a little micro trip. It's like a microcosm of our lives, and you get to a different place by the end of it within yourself as the same as outside. And not only is it good for the sunshine, good for the fresh air, good for the exercise, good for the movement, good for seeing different things visually, good for smelling different things. Okay. All of these things. It's this, again, this connection. We have to hone that, and we want to stay close to that. Okay. And again, it may be a little bit of introverted, I'm just going to go off here by myself and be strong, and again, a lot of us have been feeling out new ways, to, I think, it's been a lot about divine feminine for a while now, being strong, and divine masculine's reaction to that. But now we're coming to a point where divine masculine has been more inspired, really deeply, to the soul. Again, words here are not going to come out of the mouth. Okay. It might be subtle right now, but divine masculine here is taking a key, taking a cue. Could just be energetically, could be from watching things that you're posting on social media, picking up on your vibe. They're watching you. Their sensors here are open to you. They are open, even if there's no overt communication. Have to understand right now. I definitely think there is, again, there's growth, there's stretching, getting out of that comfort zone, growing, transformation to the max. The little things are changing. The big things are changing. It's a freaking commotion. Okay. But somehow we're in the middle of all this commotion. Okay. We're able to find our peace. Okay. And divine masculine is receiving energy here, I think, from divine feminine and from higher powers as well. Okay. Connection with higher power there as well. So keep on swimming, keep on swimming. Okay. And so I feel like there's more of a freedom now to be ourselves and to really, it's almost like there's this back of our mentality, we do need to mean what we say and say what we mean. And there's, our mortality is a little more real than it was, say, last year at this time, right? So we're all, we're wanting to find that deeper meaning. Okay. We're wanting, there's definitely a yearning to make things right, but it's a definitely, again, unfortunately, if you may look at it that way, not going to happen overnight. It's going to be a journey, and it might put you through the ringer. And I'm not trying to project this on you because, again, we want to keep this. And watch the last video too. If you're feeling negative and overwhelmed, watch the last video because it's a little bit about what we're going to be going through with our Mars retrograde, Aries square, with Saturn that we're having. I mean, we got double and triple whammies here. And I'm not trying to say, I've been going through the ringer. Yeah. Past couple days. Had a couple of really good days where really positive, lucky things were happening. I think it was a little primer. And then it's bam. And I tend to feel things early. So let me know if you feel, you know, some of that same energy as I do. But this is like a bigger message. Okay, this is like epic. This is epic and life-changing. Okay, this is our fire energy. This is all of this Mars and Aries. Again, we're not going to make it out completely unscathed, but we're going to make it. And by golly, it's going to work out. It's going to work out. Keep that faith. You always need to understand that the universe really does support you. Okay, it's the universe there. We have a lot of birds, a lot of feathers here, and this is your messengers here too, are also here to support you. Your angels, your ancestors, just energies of love and light. You can have embody you, and like I was just doing another mantras today too. I am peace. I am love. I am joy. You know, I am peace and love and joy. I am peace and love and joy. I am peace and love and joy. And I don't care if you have to say it like that literally when you're pissed off. Like, it's kind of funny. And if you can laugh at it, again, that's just another laugh, another rising your vibration, and another, it's like a magnet or a battery, you know, like energy going to your manifestation. Okay, so that is very powerful. Now let's get into this a little bit deeper. We're going to see how Divine Masculine is thinking about Divine Feminine. Okay, again, see, it's like sturdy. Again, we have deep roots here. Okay, this is, I don't want to say what's keeping them together and how we get this again, you know? So they see you as tough, you know, can get through, like resourceful, I would say, more like savvy, like able to hold your own and stand your ground. And they're working with the reality of you, of Divine Feminine, in a more strong strength role, setting boundaries, being good to yourself, not being, you know, doing all the cardinal sins, you know, that we do of relationships. And that's the bozo, you know, the blame, the obsession, the overcompensation, and not giving up and smothering, you know, all of those things that we don't want to do. Okay, we're growing out of those, and that is exactly what we need to keep doing. Any progress you've made, be like, yes, good job, do that some more, and we're not gonna give in or let go. And again, there's a lot of passion. There's a lot of passions out there, okay? And it's like we don't necessarily want to be restrained, and we don't necessarily want to just go within and do this work right now. But what is the theme of 2020? It may not be about what you want to do or what you think you want to do, because deep down, you're connected with divine. So deep down, your higher and deeper selves, right? You want what the best thing for you. And it's just a matter of getting on that vibration. Again, feeling it out. Find it. Where's the channel? Find the frequency. Get on it and stay on it. Find where the frequency is coming in on. And you got to move it sometimes. The frequency moves. You got to stay. And sometimes it gets tricky. And I think there's energies that try to trick us and get us believing that they're the, you know, and obviously, whatever, take that as it may. And again, different people have different labels. But again, our person, Divine Masculine, is seeing Divine Feminine as, I think, a really deep and positive and familial bond support system here. They're feeling your love. They're feeling your creative energy that is leading them and guiding them. Again, even if nothing's being said. Purpose, drive, ambition. What are you doing with the rest of your life? You know, the ultimate question of the year, you know, of the decade. What are we doing with our life? What are we creating? And what magic are we letting into our lives? How can we pass up such a beautiful and connected and true? You know it's true. You just know. It's like when you go here, you see, you just feel it. This is what it is. There's no words for Divine Masculine. Divine Masculine literally has no words. It's like feelings. Okay. You know, could be acting. I'm getting acting on plans too. Acting on plans. and doing inner healing work. Again, you do the inner healing work, your person does more healing work. So get the shadow work program. My program down below has not only shadow work, but also the holistic law of attraction, my own creation, and the inner child healing work, which is all made to get you into union with yourself, but also with your person. Okay, because that's what has to happen first, is to get into union with yourself. Okay, so we're going to see about the relationship. Okay, so they are seeing this relationship, again, beyond words, like way, like kind of out there. Like, and I think sometimes people will have this serendipitous thing and they'll hear about the law of, it could happen with the law of attraction too, but they'll also hear about like twin flames, and then maybe they'll notice that you posted something somewhere, where you thought they weren't looking, about twin flames or something, and then they're like, oh, hey, again, they're watching you. Okay. They're watching you because they know that you're healing. They know that you're changing, and they don't want to be stagnant because they've been stagnant long enough. And a lot of us have been stagnant, and we're not going to put up with our own bullshit anymore. I just saw a meme the other day that epitomized, and a lot of people were relating with it. It's the one about something, I'm sick of my own shit too. Like, it's like, yeah, we can all get sick of our shit. And if we're going to get sick of our shit, it's probably going to be around this time. This time. And again, Mars in retrograde started today, 9th and 10th here of September 2020. Coming on the waning moon here last quarter. But we have, a lot of, again, this retrograde energy. We want to act, we want to rage against the machine, but we have to just hold off on action for a minute and reassess. But this is going to be through, I think, the 13th of November. And then we also, again, that double whammy there from September 15th. So starting next week, it's Mars retrograde goes into square Saturn. So the square Saturn is like an additional, like bam, bam, bam. So I think, and then, there's another Pluto aspect that is kind of like a big bang thing happening. And there's just so much explosive energy. So that's why I'm telling people, like, be really careful, be really safe. Stay really in tune with yourself. And I think doing kind of those actions that are wise, again, of your higher self. Remember the lessons you've learned in the past. Make sure you're on your game. Make sure you're communicating. Okay. You cannot over communicate at a time like this. Instead of getting rash and saying things you don't mean, letting things boil over and get out of control, go off by yourself. Be the bigger person. Okay. And again, make sure that you're expressing yourself, because again, you need to respect your voice. This has to do with your chakras too, your throat chakra, that we need to be able to express ourselves and need to be able to communicate our wants and our needs in order to be that, be that lover, be that person that is an equal match in their relationship, and that is bringing something to the table and not just being like a succubus. You know what I mean? Always. It's equal, balance and equality. Be, just be. Okay. So yeah, Mars retrograde squaring Saturn through October 7th. Okay. Real big test on all of our self-control, all of these anger management. This is not only turning the cheek, we are learning how to turn and literally, physically remove ourselves from situations. Literally put the phone down, lock it away for the night, and get off Facebook and stop arguing with people about politics and all of this stuff. Okay, it's just we can't. We have to kind of get on this self-love mode and focus on ourselves. Okay, and I think that the smart and the wise thing to do, again, is kind of to go off by yourself, stay grounded in this, this Virgo energy that we do have in our sun, and just really stay grounded. And if you have to go, again, be by yourself, focus on your dreams and do actions. Again, this is that focused, independent action that can, don't be scared by, all this Mars retrograde Aries square stuff, because Mars in itself, we are finding new ways to get what we want, finding new things to get things done. We have to adjust. We have to adjust. So again, it's like learn and do, shadow work. Okay, shadow work. I got a whole shadow work playlist right here on the YouTubes, totally free. Check it out down below in the description box. Program is only $11.11. It is 30 videos long, so check it out. It'll give you lots of good, really hands-on tips, tricks, tips, tricks, tidbits. Say that 5 times fast. Okay, and now for the moment we've all been waiting for, blockages and solutions. Okay, look at this. Look at this. Ah! Oh my gosh, I love it. Okay, so the blockages, okay, might be some addiction, okay. Having to let go. What do we need to let go of? What do we need to let go of? We are being very stubborn. Again, and it's sometimes just letting go of being so uptight and being so lower minded. You know, it's really all one and the same, whether you're going to call it anger management or you're going to call it being a dick. You know, it's kind of like the old ways that gotta go, you know. And a lot of us are realizing that we can't get along doing the same things we've been doing. That's insanity for real. This is collective change. This is also the personal change, okay? But the fact is, having to let go, you know, having to release and having to be okay with it, it takes a process, you know, it takes time. And again, this is kind of this just healing time, like literal inner, and I think Divine Masculine's doing a lot of inner healing here. Okay, they're letting go of a lot. We all are, again, healer, you know, this is through creation, you know, through creation. So it could be kids. Kids are really big for a lot of people, you know, especially if you have certain things in your chart that are like, if any of these, you know, these aspects that are going on right now have to do, you know, if you have planets in that chart, or in that house, you know, planets. So as far as solutions, you know, we just, I mean, we got to get it done. We can't dabble in the healing and then not follow through. Okay. And it's like birth. You are like, when is it going to end? When is it going to end? This is fucking intolerable. But this is your baby. This is your creation. Your healing is your creation because you are reinventing yourself. What better? That's almost better than a baby. You know, you don't even have to have it for 18 years. You know, it's just you get all the rewards, you know. And if you're willing to, you know, it's a sacrifice, whatever, $11 and some time and effort, you know. And with the inner child healing, yes, it can get, you know, teary a little bit or whatever, but it'll save you so much trauma in the future, drama. It'll help you clear up, you know, your energy bodies. We all have, I always like to think of it as little energies that just get stuck, little dark clouds that literally attach themselves to our mental energy, to our emotional energy, and then it goes into our actions. We choose to create it, so it goes into our actions, and then it goes into our habits, our habitual kind of long-term pentacles energy, as I always like to say here. So you see how these were all, this is really important, okay? The growth is like your baby. It's like, again, baby yourself right now. Be gentle with yourself. Treat yourself really, really well. Okay, don't be falling into victim mentality. Everybody's going through things. Everybody's learning. Everybody's growing. Everybody's shedding skin. Everybody's going through these labor pains, these growing pains, however you want to look at it. Just remember that. If it's hard, literally think of how you can maybe learn something out of this to help other people in the future that are maybe going through the same thing and maybe even less fortunate than you. How can we help raise the energy? We are alchemists, okay? We are going within and changing ourselves, and that is how we are actually making change in the world. It's not through the rah, rah, rah. It's through the action. The rah, rah, rah out of our mouths, out of our, you know, Rage Against the Machine. Yes, songs and, again, communication can be good. But if we're just going off in that lower self without even knowing what we're saying and just like getting so mad, again, that we say things that we don't even realize, it's like, obviously that's not the energy. Definitely say what you mean what you say. Definitely communicate. Okay, through the good and the bad. We have to say those things that we feel like we shouldn't have to say. Why should I even have to take the time to say this to somebody? You know, and it doesn't have to be your person. I feel like a lot of this is trauma with other people. Again, kids, possibly parents, possibly neighbors, possibly like daycare people. Again, everybody, a lot of people are just have this, again, a lot of it's just excess energy. If you notice, I've been looking at animals, had some deer, you know, and again, kind of deer season here in Missouri. Deer are starting to get out more and get in the roads more, but I had them like real close. I was like, whoa, there was like 3, and I was taking everything as a sign at that moment, and it was amazing. Amazing time to be alive. This energy is powerful. But I was noticing with the deer and like with my dog and with some other animals, it was like, seemed like they actually had like excess energy right now too, even though we're waning down a little bit with the moon. All of this other energy is just like rah, 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 you know, and it is about justice. It is about working things out and making things right. And that is this pull. That's why we're all so pissed off, because things are not fucking right. And we know this. So again, the things you see on the outside and the, you know, playing out in the world stage, that's the outer, and it's just a reflection of the inner. So you can use all of that as tools, as guides. You can use everything. I swear, I was looking at a crane, a blue heron, a blue heron that I saw today. And I was kind of meditating, looking off, staring into the water as I was just kind of looking at the bird. And I was having all these thoughts about, you know, being connected and teaching me this, teaching me that, you know, just like the Taoists talk about, and Buddha is like, you look at the rock and you learn something. You look at the bug. And like I said, I was crying, letting out this release on the hill, on my sacred hill. And I was grounding, you know, I was literally laying and the hill was cradling me. I was literally in the bosom of nature, but I wouldn't have gone there and laid there if I wasn't so upset. That is a metaphor for this energy, if I ever had one. Okay? Use it. Let it change you. Let it change you. Okay? This is a lot about adaptation. And again, back to the heron, I was just staring at it, and I was like, what can I get out of this situation? And I kept on doing this with every sight, every beautiful sight. And I'm learning to do that more and more with everything I look at. And I've done this for decades. Literally, like my whole life I've done this. But now it's just getting to this deeper and deeper level. My gifts and a lot of my clients' gifts right now are, and tell me if you guys feel this, and also leave your big 3. I love to hear that. How are you experiencing this? How is this playing out for you? How are you changing and growing in this way? Because it's so interesting with this creation vibe that we have going on, this Leo, this really getting into our passion. How can I help? What have I always dreamed of doing? But it's just coming out of us. Okay? We're reaching out, making new connections with people. Making new connections. And again, new leaders totally rising up. And that is us. That is you. Even if you're confused about exactly where it's going, don't worry. Communicate what you know. Shine what you... Just get started. Just get started shining that light. Do not wait. Shine your light in any way. And pay attention to the repetitive thoughts. Okay? So, stay connected. Go on those walks. Get outside. Eat the greens, the leafy, the nature. It's the nature stuff. It's the happiness. You don't eat death. You don't focus on death. You know, this is about high vibration. You think a chunk of meat has a high vibration? You think it's going to raise your vibration? No. That's why twin flames need to rise. And again, this is about not just veganism, minimalism. Okay? This is light workers. Twin flames are light workers. That's what we're doing. We're lighting up the light grid by communicating what we're learning right now and communicating about our healing. I don't care who you tell. You make sure that you are... This is another way to express. And it's also another way to process. Because again, we do not want to fall into the habit and the natural tendency of learning something and then forgetting it later. We have to keep the repetitiveness, get it into the subconscious. Your whole life changes when you change your subconscious. It's like building a good habit. It's the metaphor of building a good habit. You don't even have to think about it anymore. It gets easier, you guys. Okay, hang in there. Much love, many blessings. You are loved, you are appreciated, you are very, very, very necessary. Thank you for being here for Clary Berry. You can find me all over social media, Clary Berry at Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, Tumblr, Pinterest. I love to keep in touch with you guys and see different personalities on different social medias, because if you guys are like me, I literally let a different side of myself show on each one, I think. So anyway, hope you guys are taking care, and I will talk to you very soon. See you tomorrow.